I can't say I understand Jagex's hiring practices, but something tells me they require all their developers to have a thing for trolling their players.
I hate this game. I hate this game so much.
It's frustrating, you know? You spend all this time collecting keys, killing thousands of Capsarii just for a few cracks at the boss, and not only do you see a loot beam and the chat box message, but on top of it all, with how my interface is set up, the word corrupted is on a different line than Ascension Signet 6. So then you get a better look at the drop itself, and uh-oh, it's a strange pale white color. Oh, it's the pet. A 1 in 1,000 drop chance, 20 times rarer than the Signet I actually want. Ah well, all things considered, at least this grind is simple enough. For a while, my plan was to collect keys between streams, then do a bunch of kills on stream, hoping for some streamer luck. You know how that works. And that's great when an hour of killing caps is around a dozen boss kills worth of keys. But when you need a specific key, you're talking 2 or 3 useful keys per hour. It's very slow. It stops being reasonable. Collecting dozens of keys before a stream, you're talking 6 hours for, 20 minutes worth of bossing? And what if I gather 20 or 30 keys, then get a signet after 3 more kills? A bit of a waste of time. Instead, I opted to use the keys as soon as I got them. A single use of the equilibrium aura worked out to about 5 or 6 keys, which only takes about 10 minutes to use, so I just kept doing that until... Ooh boy. Let's take these 6 signets to Oculus with a dragon crossbow and a few ascension shards and get ourselves a fancy new crystal blue crossbow perfect for firing off criminal bolts of all sorts. We'll also need an offhand, and I've got just the idea. A chaotic crossbow. I've outlined this multiple times before, but the accuracy of your offhand is irrelevant. So the only difference between an offhand chaotic crossbow and an offhand ascension crossbow is the damage scaling of the bolts. It's also why an offhand shadow glaive isn't any better. It's got tier 90 accuracy, but only tier 80 damage. In fact, it might actually be worse than a chaotic crossbow, since I don't think glaive autos can proc the bolt effects. I guess there's Death Lotus darts. They have tier 85 damage, but you can't augment them, so they're basically useless except as disassembly fodder when you need silent components. We're going to augment our new weapons, and we'll perk them out with some simple intro perks. Precise 6 Genocidal on the main hand, Equilibrium 4 on the offhand. Now, I did get Ilyankin components during my Capsarius grind, thanks to the scavenging perk, so I could put Aftershock on one of these weapons. I will need to do a bit more research into that though, because of how it interacts with weapon switches and whatnot. See, with the Aftershock perk, after dealing 50,000 damage, you deal an extra 50% weapon damage for every rank of Aftershock you have. Aftershock 4 does 200% damage. It's passive damage, it strikes multiple targets, and it's decently strong. The problem is, if you unequip the weapon with the perk, you lose all the damage you've stored up, meaning you'll have to do another 50,000 damage when you re-equip the weapon. The workaround is to put Aftershock 1 on whatever weapon or weapons you switch to. That way you don't lose the accumulated damage. It's clunky as hell, or at least I think so, and it means you'll have to set up your switches with different perks and make sure offhands don't overlap with main hands, and you might need 2 different main hands with different perks based on which ones you're camping and which one you might switch. It's a mess. Now, if it were up to me, I'd change Aftershock so it only accumulates damage when the weapon with Aftershock is equipped, and pause it when it's not equipped rather than losing it outright. It's just frustrating that we have to cram Aftershock onto a bunch of different weapons like it's some little brother mom makes you take everywhere. Anyway, with all that out of the way, it's time to level up to a new boss. We'll just pretend I never went to Nyx. Maybe Ascensions would help there, but I don't want to. For so long, you've been but a name whispered on the wind, a challenge meant for those beyond my talents. Too strong to fight, too technical to master. Imagine the shame I felt when I heard the elite referring to you as Barney. Imagine my jealousy at the mere mention of Greater Ricochet, Greater Chain. Ironman, like myself, claimed these codices, but me? Why, I was content, proud even, of my Greater Concentrated Blast, my Igneous Capes, or so I thought. Those codices, those boots, that challenge. It's a video game, I want to fight another boss. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I'll use Debilitate so when I do get hit by this thing, I don't get, like, murked. Whoop, like that. Whoops. Come on, I did anticipate. Well, I'm dead. Oops. Oops, got hit by that one. Oh no, oh man. God damn it. I was going well until I forgot that the thing was happening. It's kind of interesting that the keeper says if you hear it speaking, ignore it. Because I always thought that Raksha could just talk, but I guess it's just infiltrating your mind, which makes it kind of spookier. Oh, damn it. Okay, phase 3. Stimpy stomps. Okay, now, ow. Where's the ad? Where's the shadow manifestation? Where is he? There he is. Oh, shoosh. That wasn't good. Teleport out? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got too much of the shadows. Okay, so now he's phased. Now we deal with the things? Oh, the shadows grow thicker, and then I was supposed to do it. Whoops. Oh, come on. I didn't mage. I didn't. I did range, but I'm mad. Try. Oh, no, I can't. Damn it. Aha, resonance. Suck it, you stupid dragon. Dinosaur. But I have, like, no accuracy against this manifestation. Oops. Oh, come on. I just... Really? I thought I was gonna phase... Ah. I thought I was phasing him so he wouldn't do that, and then he did it. Raksha learning? Indeed, Raksha learning. My best kill, I think, was 350k. But it's coming along. It's going a lot better than Nex. Like, I feel like I'm actually making progress. Hey. That went bad real fast. Ugh. Okay, we're up. That was bad. That was really bad. You know what? No, I refuse. Ow. Ow. Oh, walking through the flames. That was going so well until it wasn't. See, and I just turned my prayer off because I double clicked. I had the real life equivalent of the opposite of a dead click. Whoops. Because I got the pools I got to deal with, and I got the manifestation I got to deal with, and I got this giant dinosaur that keeps throwing things at me. He's a problem. And you do know though, if I farm the laceration boots, the first drop from Raksha will be laceration boots. Whoops. I just kicked my cat. Sorry, boy. I didn't see you there. So, Raksha's interesting. A decently strong boss with rather mediocre defenses, meaning accuracy isn't really much of an issue here. In fact, I probably could have come here with dual chaotics and the reckless aura and had perfect accuracy anyway. But I put it off until I had a better weapon, something that could carry me through the fight. Or so I thought. Let me give you a basic overview of what this fight is. Not that I'm really an authority on this or anything, but whatever. This isn't a guide. This is just background info. Because background noise, get it? The fight is split into 4 phases, which most people, myself included, refer to as Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and Phase 4. The first 3 phases are remarkably similar. He does 4 auto attacks, then a special attack, 4 more autos, then a special, and so on. Do 200,000 damage to him in solo mode, and he transitions to the next phase. Phase 2 is similar with some different special attacks, but the same 4 autos, 1 special sort of a deal. Some of the special attacks are like a tail swipe you have to avoid, bombs that you have to use freedom to get out of, and all this is happening while he's doing the auto attacks, and you have to flick between prayers so you don't take a much... It's standard boss fight stuff, but that doesn't matter. It's phase 3 that becomes kind of tricky, and it's all those shadow pools all around the room. See, in every phase he spawns those shadow pools. It's shadow anima. If you take too long to DPS him during the first 2 phases, he'll eventually suck up the pools and empower himself. That little bar under his health bar tracks how much shadow juice he's absorbed. Conventional wisdom says to teleport out if that gets over like 30%. If you do 200,000 damage before he gets to the shadow suck part of his attack, then he just moves on to the next phase, no sucking. Problem is, on phase 3, he does the suck near the beginning of the phase, so you need to destroy the pools before he does the big suck. And that's where my issue is. Phase 1, I got that down pretty quickly. Sometimes I'd screw up and forget to dodge a tail swipe, or I'd goof a prayer switch, but for the most part I was handling it decently well. The little tantrums he throws between the phases are still a little hectic for me. If you use Debilitate, you reduce the damage of the falling rocks, but honestly, if you're, aware of your surroundings, you won't get crushed by any of the rocks, but, look, I'm an idiot sometimes, so I just like, oh, look, a shadow, and then you get squished. But you don't take that much damage, and if you bring Disruption Shield, it kind of gives you a little room to mess up a little more. Phase 2 is also pretty simple. It's basically the same as phase 1, except he does this different attack where he summons his balls, and you gotta click on his balls. And I really love when Raksha does this attack because he's really cute. He reminds me of a cat. Like, he always like all like curled up, and he's wiggling his tail. He's really cute. He's really cute. I love him. Anyway, much like phase 1, you dodge the tail swipes, pray switch when needed, and use freedom when he stuns you so you can run away from the falling shadow bombs. And obviously, don't stand in the fire, which is hard to see because why wouldn't it be? Get him to 400,000 health, he does his little stippy stomps, throwing his little tantrum. And this is where it all goes to hell. You got him dropping rocks on you, you got this shadow lizard asshole harassing your backside, and you need to clear the pools while also remember to flick your prayers because Raksha will start attacking you once he stops being all grumpy. What most people do is equip a halberd type weapon, laceration boots, and use bladed dive on the shadow pools. The thing about bladed dive is it deals damage in a 3x3 area, resetting if the enemy you hit dies within 6 seconds. Bladed dive is typically enough damage to kill the pools, so it resets without a problem. Laceration boots allow you to use bladed dive while wielding a two-handed weapon, so bladed dive with a halberd makes the ability hit a 5x5 area, almost guaranteeing the entire patch of pools is destroyed. In fact, with the right perks and the correct weapon, I'm pretty sure it's impossible to not one-shot the pools since they only have 1,000 health. Here's the thing, I don't have laceration boots, so my only real option is mechanized chinchompas, and they just weren't working out. I want to just blame my lack of boots, but it's likely just a skill issue, especially since today, as of recording this audio, I did manage to get him to phase 4, which I screwed up on, but like I was able to, the chinchompas worked, but it was still a lot of luck. I get really panicked during the phase transition, but that wouldn't be too much of a problem if the chinchompas were a bit more consistent. That way I have something reliable, something grounded that I can kind of latch onto. I'd rather a majority of my inconsistency in killing come from me, not from the gear I have. And chinchompas just, they ain't cutting it. With these chinchompas, it just seems like I don't have enough time to run around the room and attack the pools. And even if every attack was perfect, I just can't get to them in time and he ends up juicing himself up and I either teleport out or I forget to flick my prayers and I get dropped. There's really two options before me. Either keep throwing myself at Raksha until I get phase 3 down with chinchompas, or get myself a pair of laceration boots and maybe have an easier time during phase 3. So how do I get laceration boots? They come from two sources. The first, Anachronia dinosaurs. Feral, venomous, brutish, and ripper dinosaurs all drop laceration boots at a 1 in 8,000 rate unless you have a slayer task. Then the drop rate goes up as high as 1 in 2,000 for both the ripper and brutish dinosaurs. Because the feral and venomous dinosaurs have less health, they drop the boots at a 1 in 3,000 and 1 in 4,000 rate respectively. Pretty rare. And getting a dinosaur slayer task is kind of a pain in the cloaca sometimes. Do dinosaurs have cloacas? I mean, they became birds. Birds have cloacas. So our other option is a 1 in 200 drop rate, much more common. It's from Raksha. Yeah, Dino Slayer it is. Yes, I know I could duo Raksha until I got the boots, but I'd rather run Raksha solo. I ain't a leech, I don't need no carry. And now we begin the Slayer grind. This is gonna be fun.